Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be back. Members, this bill was brought to me by several veterans groups that are seeking a convenient means for veterans to identify themselves. Many other states are moving in this direction, and at least a dozen have already done so. We recognize that this will be somewhat of a challenge for the DMV, but we're working with them to make it as easy as possible. I have witnesses here in support of the bill. There's no opposition that I'm aware of, and I would ask for your aye vote.
Move the bill.
Okay, it's been moved. It's been moved by Ms. Buchanan and seconded by Mr. Miller. Are there any witnesses in support?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Pete Conity. I'll be really brief. And I'm going to turn, I represent the sponsors, 250,000 veterans, 20 organizations. I'm going to turn the mic over to Mr. David Walker, who is a Vietnam veteran and also with the Campbell Police Department and working with several veterans groups, and he's going to speak on the merits of the bill.
Any other witnesses in support?
I appreciate being here today. I just hit some bullets here because I was told to be concise. It's my first time doing this. Benefit to you, the Assembly. A lot of people out on the street, they talk about the legislative process. Is it relevant? Does it do things good for the people? And I think passing this on would demonstrate clearly to veterans that it does. Over the past 5 years, I've been part of a transition team escorting severely wounded back from Iraq, Afghanistan, and I've met with over 200 veterans and their families. I can tell you that they're appreciative of a lot of things that go on in this country and in this state for them, but they tell me over and over they want something that's practical, something they can live with, something that can make their life better after the party's over. And that means these little weekend retreats and such. Nothing against those, but they're looking for something good for that way. Cost to the state has been addressed in this. We don't know what that is exactly. Cost to the veteran, I don't know if there's going to be a nominal fee or not, but a lot of organizations, Lowe's, Home Depot, they give discounts to veterans. They have sometimes you can get meals at places, no charge. It would be certainly offset by that. Another thing that's incidental, too, is I've been working with the California Department of Veterans Affairs, and Lee Gutierrez and I hopefully will meet here soon, new director up there. One of the things that they have a problem with, if they want to notify veterans of an upcoming issue, such as the Vietnam vets, when this Agent Orange first rolled out and they came out with a type of cancer and stuff, they had no way of getting hold of the veterans. We can establish a veterans database by doing that, be a lot more proficient in working together within the state. Officer safety is another issue. I work and have worked in the law enforcement community for over 20 years. One of the things that I've become very aware of is the fact that a lot of officers, when they have a veteran standing in front of them, do not realize they have a veteran standing in front of them. There's two issues with that. Number one is the respect due to the veteran. The other is the fact that these veterans have been trained and done some stuff that could be a safety concern to officers. Just most recently, just a few weeks ago, I was working with a family, started on March 2nd, Abel Gutierrez. Unfortunately, about 10 days later, he shot and killed his mother. He shot and killed his sister the next day and then took his own life. When we went to the residence, the first day that I met with him, I realized we had a vet in front of us, so the first thing we did was, and we don't often do this, we looked for weapons. We found 3 weapons, officer safety issue. When we have our officers go out and do a traffic stop and they are not aware of the person in front of them, who they are, that can be a problem. I got to stress here too, most of our veterans are not problems for law enforcement. They can be, and when they can be a deadly encounters. The officers, I wrote a program for post. It's certified by the state. It becomes mandatory training starting in June. We've already trained over 4,500 officers dealing with this very subject. But the officers don't know how to identify vets in the street currently because they don't have a little driver's license or something that's solid, something a solid base that says I have a vet standing in front of me here. Federal funds. One of the things that I do too is stress with these officers. A lot of these vets have funds that are due to them because of their service, And that is federal money that comes into the state. It doesn't cost us anything. It's better for us, better for the vet. The other thing, too, is if we incarcerate vets when we shouldn't, and some counties, we have 8 counties now have vets courts, rate of recidivism is way down in the vets courts considered, when you consider on the basis of other people, that's a big savings to the state and also local communities. Another thing is medical calls. On the medical calls, I've been occasion to be out with one individual was a colonel, retired from the Marine Corps, did not know he was entitled to care from the Veterans Administration. So we got him set up with that. This guy was going to a diabetic coma because he didn't realize he had benefits coming. He could no longer afford the health care that he needed. So I urge you, very much urge you to pass this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other witnesses in support? Any witnesses in opposition? Members? Any comments by members? It's been, hearing and seeing none, the bill's been moved and seconded. Madam Chair, would you like to
I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a good bill. My dad was a veteran. He would have appreciated this had he lived long enough, and the chair recommends an aye vote. You call the roll, Madam Chair?
Motions to pass appropriations. Lowenthal?
Lowenthal.
Lowenthal,
Aye.
aye. Jeffries?
Aye.
Jeffries, aye. Shajian?
Aye.
Shajian, aye. Blumenfield? Bonilla?
Aye.
Bonilla, aye. Buchanan? Ing? Ing?
Aye.
Ing, aye. Furtani? Galgiani? Galgiani, aye. Logue? Miller? Miller, aye. Norby? Portantino? Portantino, aye. Solorio? 8-0, it's out. 8-0.
That bill gets out at 8-0.
Thank you so much, members.
We have one more. One more? ACR had.
That's one.
Item number 11, ACR 100, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I'm
Move the
pleased.
bill.